Hey everyone, and welcome to the 100K special. Congrats to everyone holding. Bitcoin's at 100K. Um, yeah, let's talk about what happens from here. I'm gonna make this a quick video. Not gonna go much into detail on the coins that I'm looking at. That's usually for Sundays. But the one thing that I want to make clear is everyone, well, not everyone. This market has provided so many opportunities to get into coins, Bitcoin, whatever it may be, on every single shallow dump. I've said this before in the video. I had a live stream with Unity Academy, and the first thing that I mentioned was this whole impulsive move up, right? We've had shallow pullbacks, and it's given you ample opportunities, to get into it, like 6% dumps, right? 3%. This one gave you a beautiful entry, which, if you took my call in the Discord, you got perfectly. Up until, here, right? Everyone thought market structure was broken, but the trend has literally been up, right? It's been holding this trend line. Everyone thought that this was a head and shoulders, but again, most people, almost everyone, even analysts that are, working with me, have zero idea what a head and shoulders is. None of them know how to play it correctly. All right. So you have a neckline. You have the left shoulder, right, connected by the neckline. You have the head, neckline, and then you have the right shoulder. Everyone was calling for a move down, right? But you haven't lost the neckline, turned it into resistance to confirm the head and shoulders for a move down. We've just been bouncing off this trend line over and over again. So I was seeing people call for shorts with stop losses above here, targeting 88K. And although I did mention that we would go to 85 to 88K, the invalidation level that I mentioned was 98K. We got invalidated, so we had a move higher. Now, where do we go from here, right? We are currently in an uptrend. We still have not lost anything. Now, the first thing that you guys want to focus on, usually when a coin goes into price discovery, is playing the retest of the all-time highs, right? And we can do a brief example of this, right? If I were to remove here, and we look at all the all-time highs. So if we, go from here, right? Let's say this move up. Here is the all-time highs. I like to go by candle body closures. Okay, some people like to play wicks, but here is the all-time high. Okay, you had the retest, and you had a big move, right? Sure, we went lower, but move up, right? And continuously making all-time highs here, right? If we take this all-time high, right, move up, back into the all-time high retest, and then continue higher. So if we're just living by this exact method, right, we have all-time highs here at 92 to 100, or sorry, 99.2 to 100K. This should be a bounce point. Now, this is going to be a very risky play, or setting it up here. All right, I would love to get into this order block here and long, but we have to keep in mind a few factors. This can easily go back to retest all-time highs and continue to grind higher. As like I said, we are in an uptrend. We have not lost it, right? So this would, depending on how long this takes, this would be another confluence to come back into the trend line and bounce higher. Wicks do not matter. It's where the candles close. So we can wick down into here and still close above, right? That's why I take market structure based off line charts. Like if I were to go to a line chart here, watch this. This is where here is the line chart, right? candle bodies, always candle bodies, right? Wicks are irrelevant, especially for spot traders. You can hold your positions and not worry about the wicks. It's all about where the candle closes. So the first main point, like I mentioned, is going to be this 99.k, or the previous all-time high, 99.2k, right? I would love a dip here, but again, let me tell you why this is going to be risky. So this would most likely be the setup, right? Target 110k from here. But the reason why this is risky is a few things. If I were to go back to USDT dominance, okay, USDT dominance is on a crucial level of support here, right? Here's your head and shoulders. Okay, here's your neckline. Look what happened here when you had the head and shoulders. Okay, we bounced. This small left shoulder wide, a small right shoulder looks exactly like this. All right. This is an area where USDT dominance needs to hold. If we lose it, it's really good for the crypto markets. It means we're going to go higher. But this is a profit-taking point, like I mentioned in the Discord. All right. Not only that, but we can see that perps have about a 30 to a $50 premium versus Coinbase spot. So this tells me that Coinbase is starting to sell. People are taking profits. This whole entire move was pushed up by leverage longs. All right. Earlier today, posted the same exact thing, but vice versa. Coinbase spot had the premium and perps were discounted, which means that this whole entire move up was actually driven by spot buys, which are organic. Okay, but right now it's a leveraged move. So I expect a pullback. This is a lagging indicator. So this is why I say it's going to be risky. But again, USDT dominance is on support. People are taking profits here. People are stabling back up or going to wait back on back on the sidelines for a decisive move. But also, if we go back to Bitcoin dominance here, it's all fun and games here. We lost the trend, right? We turned it into resistance. It's a 3-day chart and continued to dump. But again, we bounced from support. Look at the weekly though. The weekly, although we closed below, can easily regain this trend line. We had this huge move down, but we can easily reclaim this trend line, right? So again, bounce from support, right, and then continue higher. Now, if we can close below this trend line here on the weekly, right, I don't want this wick. I want much lower because this is a very strong candle. This is a butterfly candle. A butterfly doji actually. So this is a reversal type candle. This most likely means that we are going to go higher as we see, Bitcoin's kind of dipping. So very, very important candle for us to close this weekly, which closes in 3 days. But if we can close, let's say the candle here, this would be continuation to the downside on dominance, which would mean more pump on altcoins as long as Bitcoin can consolidate or slowly increase in price. All right, so again, very, very important area, which is why making this long is risky. But if we take a look at not just USD dominance, but Bitcoin dominance here as well, alts aren't really doing anything, right? Bitcoin has to lead the rally, which it has. Bitcoin dominance is increasing again, right? Now, if Bitcoin dominance increases and Bitcoin price decreases, alts are going to not fare well and they're going to go much lower, right? So if you want to focus on the strong alts, you have to look at their alt BTC pairing. I'm not going to go over that. You guys can take charts and take a look at it yourselves. But this move up is most likely going to be retraced back to 100K. If Bitcoin goes down here, alts will take a beating, and you want to focus on those that are holding relatively stable. All right. One of the biggest coins currently is Dogecoin. Dogecoin gave this to you guys in the previous video, gave this to you guys in the live stream that I do for Unity Academy, gave this to you guys in the Discord, and even on Twitter. This was the buy area. All right, we had the golden pocket, we missed the DCA point, and this put in a 16% move. All right, now remember this ascending triangle here, right? We need a daily closure above this resistance point. We still have not had it. We had it here, but we didn't flip it to support. I'd like to have a closure above, flip this into support, and then we will target 54 cents from here. All right, so this is one of the strongest coins. Again, it's bouncing from the trend line. It has not lost its bullish structure and looking for a move up. All right, the one thing that I am happy is that the XRP Moon Boys are losing. The shittiest community of all time. Let me show you why I would never, I don't care if this coin goes to 100, I would never get involved in this. And you guys probably want to stay away for a little bit. I'm going to explain why. So this whole entire move up here, right, it was making higher highs and higher lows, right? Here's your higher high, here's your higher low, made a lower high and then broke below. This has lost structure to the downside, all right? So this most likely goes back up, makes another lower high, and rejects. This is going to be your supply zone. I would love this coin to go to 0 or to 100. I don't really care. I'm never going to buy it. But if this goes back into the supply zone of 250 to 260, that is where you, in my opinion, look for shorts. I'm not going to give the setup because I'm not going to give a setup ever on XRP. That's what I would be looking at. But I think the Dino coins have completely died off. If you are a moon boy of XRP, and I'm sorry that you came out that way, but this would be an area where you would look to buy. Okay, we have the demand zone here from $1.96 down to $1.86. That is where you're going to buy. All right. Again, Bitcoin has been going down, right? Dogecoin has been holding relatively well, but other coins are going down tremendously compared to Bitcoin. All right, so you want to focus on coins that are doing well, and Dogecoin is going to be one. Now, where do we go from here in terms of upside? No one really freaking knows. All right, if I were to go back to, let's say, Coinbase, actually, let's take a look at this. Okay, if we take a look at last cycle compared to this cycle, and like I said, the bull run started at 25K. We are on our last leg up, all right? We have probably 3 to 5 more months left of this, so use your time wisely. But this is, okay, this is when the last bull market started, in my opinion. All right, everyone's going to talk about this, March crash, but this is when the bull run started. All right, so once we broke 12K, that's when the bull run started of last cycle. 25K is when the bull run started of this cycle. All right, we broke above, flipped it, and continued to go higher. That was the change of structure. Okay, you could argue that the change of structure was also here. It looks pretty similar to that, but I would like to say this is it because we had the resistance. We had the resistance here. And this cycle from, let's take a look, date range, from here to the highs, okay, lasted about 400 days. All right. Let's take the same exact thing from here to current highs. Okay. We are in a longer bull cycle by almost 230 days compared to last cycle. All right. We are coming to an end, like I said, within 3 to 5 months. We could go higher. I don't care at that point, but it is nearing the last leg up. All right. This is our 5th wave of this cycle. Okay, so like if we were to take structure Elliott waves here, right, you have 1, right, 3, 4, 5, and then you have here, if we take it from, right, 3, 4, how much higher can this go? I mean, we can go probably 120K, maybe more, but we are nearing our last. You can also take the structure here, right? Started from where we actually continued to, right? So 1, 3, 4. This one would actually have to be lower because you can't have 5 be larger from 1 to 3. So anyways, I think we're coming close to an end. So if we get a dip in Bitcoin, you want to focus on alts, not really on Bitcoin anymore, because you want dominance to go up a little bit. Hopefully that we close below, but even if we go to make a lower high, let's say we reclaim this trend line, we go here, make a lower high, then we have confirmed structure break, close below, right? And then you have that structure break. This would mean that we will continue alts running. Now, when does Altseason run or start? When has it started? Altseason started a long time ago. All right, coins are doing 30 to 50% daily moves. If your coin isn't running, then either you're holding garbage or the time hasn't come yet. But don't be fixated on when it starts. It's already started. So, like I said, this is the last leg up, and I will go into more detail of what coins I am looking at on Sunday when I do the weekly recap. But right now, this was just a small recap of the micro analysis on Bitcoin and where we could go and what coins to focus on. And again, that is you have to look at the alt BTC pairings of whatever coin that you want to focus on and see how they are doing compared to Bitcoin. If the USDT pairing is holding relatively strong, like Dogecoin when Bitcoin's going down, these are the type of coins that you want to focus on. All right. ETH. Let me just quickly cover ETH here. Let's use this chart. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. So ETH is at a very critical resistance point, right? Rejection, rejection. We flipped it to support, then deviated below, rejection, rejection. Above this level, it could get very, very fun. But until then, this is your supply zone. Okay. So we need closure above, flip this, continue higher. Otherwise, this just looks like another rejection. And where can we possibly go from here? Well, we are still in an uptrend. Okay. Still in an uptrend. But if we were to get a huge leverage, wipe across the markets, looking for like something like a wick like this, right? Two areas of interest. One, you have this order block. Okay, which is also resistance. We broke out, we never retested it. 34.22-ish, right? Most likely you would have to front run these because everyone's looking at the same levels. So I'd probably go to like 34.50-ish. Otherwise, you are looking at this support here around 35, 60-ish. All right. These are the areas that I'd be looking at for ETH. We have a little rising wedge structure. We could talk about it not being a rising wedge, even actually a channel breakout here, right? We broke out weekly close, or sorry, daily close above here, which closes in 17 hours. We have a flip of this rising wedge trend line and continue higher. But again, higher time frame, we are at resistance here. So looking for either a flip here on the weekly to gain higher, or looking for pullbacks across on a leverage wipeout market wide. That's the area where I'll be looking at. All right. So stay safe. Sometimes the best position is to not be in a position. Let the mayhem happen. Wait for a range to form. everyone's FOMOing, right? Like you had this whole entire move up here, and let me go quickly show you guys. This whole entire move up, everyone's trying to FOMO. People start longing here. All of a sudden, you get this move down. Same thing is happening here, right? You get this huge move up. Wait for a range to form, okay? Because we can easily come back down like this. You want that range to form, and then it'll be easier to find plays that way, right? So just give it some time. You don't always have to be in a position. XRP is a shitcoin, and just wait for easy conditions. All right. Thanks everyone. I'll see you guys on Sunday.